What if everything you've been told about reality is a lie? What if the world you live in, your thoughts, your beliefs, even your very soul were being manipulated by unseen forces, keeping you trapped in an illusion for nearly 2,000 years? A collection of ancient texts lay buried in the Egyptian desert, hidden away as if someone or something never wanted them to be found. These are the Nag Hammadi texts, scriptures so dangerous, so transformative, that the early church and ruling powers did everything in their power to erase them from history. But why? Because within these pages lies a forbidden truth, a revelation that could shatter the illusion of this world and awaken the divine spark buried deep within you. They speak of a cosmic deception, where the rulers of this world, the Archons, have woven a prison of illusions to keep humanity asleep. They describe Jesus not as the savior of sin, but as a guide to higher knowledge, teaching the way to break free from this spiritual captivity. For centuries, these texts were thought lost forever until, in 1945, an accidental discovery changed everything. But was it truly an accident? Or was this knowledge meant to return at precisely the right moment in time now? Could the Nag Hammadi texts hold the key to unlocking a hidden truth about our existence? And more importantly, are you ready to see beyond the illusion? Let's journey into the forbidden knowledge of the Nag Hammadi texts, to understand why the Nag Hammadi texts were hidden, and why their knowledge was considered so dangerous. We must journey back to a time of immense spiritual conflict, when competing ideologies battled for control over the human soul. The year is 367 CE. The Roman Empire, now under Christian rule, is tightening its grip on religious doctrine. Bishop Athanasius of Alexandria issues a decree, a warning against heretical writings that threaten the authority of the newly established church. He declares that only a specific set of scriptures, the ones we now call the New Testament, are to be accepted. Everything else must be destroyed. But there were those who refused to let their sacred knowledge vanish. Deep in the Egyptian desert, a group of monks, or perhaps secret initiates of an ancient mystical order, took action. They gathered dozens of texts, scrolls filled with radical ideas about divinity, the soul, and the nature of the cosmos. These writings, which belonged to a tradition known as Gnosticism, directly contradicted the emerging Christian orthodoxy. They spoke of a hidden spiritual truth, one that could only be understood through personal awakening, not through priests, not through churches, but through direct knowledge, or gnosis. To preserve these forbidden scriptures, the monks placed them inside a sealed jar and buried them near the town of Nag Hammadi, where they would remain hidden for nearly 1,600 years. Fast forward to 1945, a farmer, digging for fertilizer, stumbles upon a large clay jar. Inside, he finds 13 leather-bound codices, containing over 50 ancient texts, writings that had been lost for centuries. When scholars finally examined them, they made a shocking discovery. These texts contained an entirely different version of early Christianity, one where the material world was a prison, where salvation came not from faith in an institution, but from awakening to the hidden reality of existence. Even more astonishing, they spoke of cosmic forces that actively seek to keep humanity trapped in illusion. But who were these cosmic rulers? And why did they fear humanity's awakening? To answer that, we must delve into the heart of the Nag Hammadi texts, where a shocking truth about our reality is revealed. Within the pages of the Nag Hammadi texts lies a revelation so unsettling, so profoundly different from mainstream religious teachings, that it was considered a direct threat to the ruling powers of its time. The texts describe a cosmic deception, a grand illusion designed to keep humanity ignorant of its true nature. According to these writings, the material world was not created by the true divine source, but by a lower, false god known as the Demiurge. Who or what is the Demiurge? In mainstream religious traditions, God is seen as the all-powerful, benevolent creator of the universe. But the Gnostics saw things differently. They believed that the true divine realm, the pleroma, the fullness of divine consciousness, exists beyond this world, beyond time, beyond form. The Demiurge, however, is an imposter god, a being who crafted the physical universe not out of love, but out of ignorance and arrogance. This Demiurge, sometimes identified with the Old Testament, God Yahweh, believes itself to be the one and only deity. But it is not. It is a flawed, blind creator, a being that shrouds the world in deception, keeping human souls trapped in an endless cycle of suffering and reincarnation. And it does not work alone. The Nag Hammadi texts reveal that the Demiurge is aided by a legion of Archons, spiritual parasites that manipulate human perception. These beings feed off fear, confusion, and control, influencing human thoughts and emotions to keep people bound to the material world. Look around. Wars, hatred, division, blind obedience. The endless pursuit of material wealth at the cost of the soul. Could this be the work of the Archons? But the most shocking revelation is this. Buried within each human being is a divine spark, a fragment of the true source, hidden beneath layers of deception. And the only way to escape the Demiurge's prison is to awaken to this hidden knowledge, to remember what we truly are. This is why the Nag Hammadi texts were buried, why their knowledge was considered so dangerous. Because if humanity were to awaken, the illusion would collapse. But how does one break free from the grip of the Archons? And what role did Jesus play in this cosmic struggle? To find out, we must look deeper into the forbidden wisdom of the Gnostics. If the Nag Hammadi texts are to be believed, then the world as we know it is a vast illusion, one carefully woven by the Demiurge and his Archons to keep humanity asleep. But how does one break free? How does a soul trapped in the cycles of suffering awaken to its divine potential? The answer lies in Gnosis, a secret knowledge that was hidden from the masses, yet revealed to those who are ready to receive it. The Gnostics believed that the true message of Jesus was not about sin and salvation, but about enlightenment and liberation. In the Gospel of Thomas, one of the most famous texts found at Nag Hammadi, Jesus does not present himself as a savior who must be worshipped. Instead, he speaks in riddles and paradoxes, urging his followers to seek the truth within. The kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will realize that you are the children of the living Father. This was a radical and dangerous idea. If the divine was already within each person, then what need was there for religious authorities? What need was there for external salvation? The Gnostics saw Jesus not as a Messiah who would save people from their sins, but as a spiritual guide one, who had uncovered the illusion of the Demiurge and sought to awaken others. But the Archons, the rulers of this false world, would not allow such knowledge to spread. The Roman Church, allied with the forces of control, declared the Gnostics heretics. Their writings were burned. Their teachings were erased. Their followers were persecuted. And yet, despite all efforts to silence them, the knowledge persisted hidden, waiting for the right moment to return. And perhaps that moment is now. Because when we examine the world around us, when we look at the systems designed to keep us distracted, divided and asleep, it becomes clear that the Archons' work is not yet finished. They still operate in the shadows, still influence thoughts, still manipulate perception. But their greatest power is deception, the ability to make us believe that we are powerless, that we are mere bodies in a material world, that there is nothing beyond what we can see. But those who seek will find. Those who knock, the door will be opened. And those who awaken will never be slaves again. The question is, are you ready to remember who you truly are? If the Nag Hammadi texts hold the key to breaking free from the illusion of the Demiurge, then the question becomes, how do we awaken? How do we move beyond the control of the Archons and reclaim the divine spark within us? The Gnostics believed that true liberation came not through belief, but through direct experience gnosis. This was not intellectual knowledge, but an inner awakening, a deep remembrance of what we truly are. And to reach it, they practiced methods designed to pierce the veil of illusion and reconnect with the higher realms. Here are 3 powerful techniques inspired by Gnostic wisdom that can help you break free from the archonic deception and reclaim your true self. 1. The art of deep inner knowing. The first step to awakening is self-inquiry, the practice of questioning everything you've been told about reality. The Gnostic Gospel of Philip states, "Ignorance is the mother of all evil. Knowledge of the truth sets us free." Begin by asking yourself profound questions during meditation or journaling. Who am I beyond this body? What unseen forces influence my thoughts and emotions? What patterns in my life feel like programmed illusions? By examining your own mind and dismantling false beliefs, you begin to unravel the web of deception spun by the Demiurge and his Archons. 2. The practice of lucid awareness. The Gnostics taught that this world is like a dream, and those who are unaware are trapped within it. But just like in a dream, once you realize you are dreaming, you gain the power to change it, a powerful technique to cultivate. This awareness is lucid living, the practice of staying consciously aware throughout the day. Regularly ask yourself, am I awake? Observe the world as if it were a dream, questioning what is real and what is illusion. Meditate on the idea that the material world is not the ultimate reality, but rather a reflection of a higher truth. As this awareness deepens, you begin to see through the illusion, recognizing the subtle forces that manipulate thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. 3. The activation of the divine spark. The most powerful secret of the Nag Hammadi texts is that the divine is already within you. The Archon's greatest deception is making you believe that you are powerless when in truth, you are a fragment of the source, a limitless being of light and consciousness. To activate this divine spark, practice silent meditation to reconnect with your inner self. Chant sacred vibrational sounds, such as Ein Sof, a term for the infinite divine in Gnostic and Kabbalistic traditions. Engage in conscious breathing with each breath. Visualize light expanding from within, dissolving all false limitations. Through these practices, you begin to reclaim your spiritual sovereignty, no longer a prisoner of illusion, but a being of true awareness. And this is precisely what the Archons fear the most. An awakened soul can no longer be controlled. The question is, will you remain asleep, or will you choose to awaken? For nearly 2,000 years, the Nag Hammadi texts remained buried, hidden away from those who sought to control, knowledge, and keep humanity in spiritual darkness. But knowledge, like a seed, cannot remain buried forever. It resurfaces when the time is right, when those who are ready begin to seek the truth. And now, that time has come. The Gnostics warned us of the Demiurge and his Archons, of the grand illusion that keeps souls trapped in a false reality. But they also left behind a map, a way out of the labyrinth. Through gnosis, inner awareness, and the activation of the divine spark, we can break free from the chains of deception and reclaim our birthright. As beings of infinite consciousness, the world around us may seem real, but reality is deeper than what we perceive with our five senses. The illusion is designed to keep us distracted chasing material wealth, obeying false authorities, fearing the unknown. But once we begin to see beyond the veil, once we question everything, the illusion starts to crack. And that is the first step to liberation. Perhaps it is no coincidence that these lost texts were rediscovered in 1945, on the eve of a new era, when humanity would be faced with the choice between awakening or remaining in the dream. Perhaps they were meant for this time, for you, right now. So I leave you with this question. What if the reality you've always known is the greatest deception of all? And what if the key to breaking free has been hidden inside you all along? The choice to awaken is yours. If this knowledge resonates with you, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this wisdom with those who are ready to hear it. What are your thoughts on the Nag Hammadi texts? Have you ever felt like reality is not what it seems? Share your insights in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, stay awakened.